Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock, and thank you for being here for this meeting of the Governing Board. Can you hear me okay?
No, it's not very loud.
Mr. Walbrecht, can you give me a little volume? Mic check, check. Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Roll call.
Scott Bartle.
Present.
Corey Anderson.
Present.
Leslie Carlisle Burnett.
Here.
Jim Irving.
Here.
Patty Cortez.
Present.
Mr. Tyler Lovell, our student representative, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, call to the public. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Seeing no one, we'll move on to the Superintendent Report. Item 3, Dr. Chestnut.
Well, good evening, President Bartle, Governing Board. I do have some slides to share with you tonight, and I know that Jack has those, so they'll probably be there in a moment. I've already started the meeting in a bad way because our county superintendent was here, kind enough to drive all the way to Maricopa, and when she got here, I realized that I had her on my calendar for the second meeting in October, and it was on her calendar for the second meeting in September. So she will be back, and that's why she was here earlier, but did not stay. So we're going to rectify that situation, and we're looking forward to that report about a month from now. So moving on for things that I had planned for, Superintendent's Report. First is congratulations to Aaron Roush, Director of Business Services. And I want to read a little bit of information about this award because it's a really good one. The Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting has been awarded to Maricopa Unified School District Number 20 by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada for its comprehensive annual financial report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. This has been presented to Aaron Roush, Director of Business Services, and this is the 4th year in a row for this award by the Government Finance Officers Association. The association is a nonprofit professional association serving approximately 17,500 government finance professionals with offices in Chicago, Illinois, and Washington, D.C., and this follows the award that the Business Department received about a month ago. So we're very proud of Aaron, the good work that he and his team do, and I know Aaron will be the first to tell you that he's successful because he has a great team in the business office. So I'd like to call up Aaron Roush and present this nice framed certificate to him.
Do you want to come over here for the cameras? I think so.
Class photographer.
Not sure if you heard about this, but we had a visitor unannounced at Santa Rosa Elementary on Friday the 21st, and that is the actual snake that made an appearance on the kindergarten playground in the morning, and he was rather large and mean-looking. Mr. Beckett referred to him as a misplaced Maricopa Elementary School mascot.
Yes, he is.
He just had the wrong elementary school. We had a great response. The Santa Rosa staff went into lockdown. A working lockdown. We kept teaching school like normal, but we, needless to say, canceled kindergarten recess. Had students stay inside. I was at a meeting. Mr. Beckett went up to the school. The fire department was there. Gordon from maintenance was there, and Enrique, the building custodian. And between Gordon and Enrique, they actually were the ones that captured the snake and transferred him to another school district. So. We are glad that they did that, and Principal Eva Safronic did a great job sending home a note with students, and, you know, we take safety very seriously, and this is a good example of that kind of thing. And it was a good response by the staff, and all the students were safe. And parents were informed, because it can be a little concerning when you hear that there was a lockdown at the elementary school, so we need to communicate with parents and tell them why. So I was proud of the response of everybody, so thank you to everybody for that good teamwork on that one. And I'm glad I wasn't up there.
How big was he?
I don't know. How big was it?
Long rattle.
Do we know?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. 3 feet or? Really?
Wow.
Wow, he's been around a long
It
time.
was 3 feet a couple days ago.
Yeah. Probably came out of the wash right there because all that rain they had.
I don't know. You may have thought you have seen this slide already, but we have to recognize Pima Butte Elementary. You already know that they received an A designation for the 3rd consecutive year. We're very proud of them for doing that. But the letter that we received about a week ago or 10 days ago showed that they even had a higher level of designation than that. They received or achieved high performing and high progress status on their AIMS tests. And there were a lot of A schools that were just A schools without either one of those. There were some that were A schools and they were high performing and not high progress. So this was quite an accomplishment. There's really no other designations you can receive. And there were only 68 schools in the state of Arizona that are Title I schools that received that recognition. So we're very proud of Pima Butte for being in that top 68. That was terrific. Some other interesting things that have happened since our last meeting. The Pinal County Educators Conference was at Coolidge High School last Friday the 21st. And as I understand it, we, in recent years, have begun doing our own professional development in the school district and have only participated in this conference in a limited way. For the other districts, it's a release day, it's a professional development day, and teachers and administrators attend on that site. But we had 5 presenters at that conference. Dr. Ember Conley, Gretchen Brown, Krista Roden, Dr. Jen Robinson, and Eva Safronic. And so we're very proud of the fact that they're considered experts in our region, and they had a variety of topics that they covered. And I think Eva had 2 of them that she presented, actually. And so a lot of good work being done by our staff that's well respected in our region. So we're proud of them for that.
Nice.
Friday was a big day. A lot of my slides have to do with Friday. It was Maricopa High School Youth Night, and it was a great night. Corey Nienaber, our new athletic director, did a great job of coordinating this event, and it turned out really well. I don't know if you remember the publicity, but the deal was that if you were a youth, elementary, middle school age student, and you wore your jersey, your youth football or baseball or cheer or whatever you're involved in, you could get into the game for free. Your parents still had to pay, of course, but you got in for free. And then you were invited at halftime to form the tunnel for the players when they came on the field. And I could tell by sitting in the stands that there were a lot of kids there, but when they lined up for that tunnel, I was amazed. So bottom left-hand corner, you can see that picture of the team busting through there and just all the kids lined up. So it was great to see that. But it was a great night just to involve all kinds of our students in a lot of activities. We had the great honor guard, of course, that started the game. And then that upper right-hand picture, it's a little bit hard to see, but the middle school bands were invited also. They wore their black shirts, and it looked like we had a gigantic band between middle school and high school all seated together. But they had their instruments and they played, and it was great to see that many kids involved. And we had a great cheer team, of course, that was involved in the game. And we didn't win the game, but other than that, it was a great success of an evening, big crowd, and it was a lot of fun. Well, today we had our own district-wide in-service day, since we don't participate in Pinal County in-service day. And we had multiple trainings around the district. I was able to drop in on these 3, so I'm just going to highlight these 3. I started my day with front office training for the entire staff. Mr. Beckett organized that, and we met over at the high school. And it was primarily for our secretaries and department people who meet the public. They were over there from 8 o'clock till 3:30, and really working on customer service was the theme of the day. Had some really excellent information that was shared, and I think that we do a good job in customer service. It's a big emphasis of mine, as you know. As I go around and visit schools and departments, I'm very pleased with what I see, but you know, as I reminded them, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you don't want to get better at it. And that was kind of the theme of the day, and I was really pleased with the group and their enthusiasm to work on that topic. And there's always room to improve. I mean, it's just like our teachers. I mean, we have teachers with bachelor's degrees and master's degrees in education and, you know, majors in different subject areas, and still we spent today in workshops, we spent a lot of time in professional development, and it's kind of the same deal. You have to continue to work at your profession to get better at it, and so that was really happening today. I was proud of that. And the second thing I attended right after that was the Maricopa High School was a faculty meeting, but it was one of those all-day faculty meetings with several presenters, and I stayed for a really good presentation on the freshman seminar, which I'm very impressed with, that year-long class that every freshman is in. I've always wanted to have a program like that, and in any district I've ever worked in, we've never had a year-long class. I think it's a terrific idea to have a 10-year plan for our students. So the staff is doing a good job. It was interesting to hear from their perspective, the teachers in that program talk about it, and it's going well. The second presentation that I stayed for was the cultural education presentation by Gabriel Lopez and Vivian Saunders. They did a terrific job. They talked for about an hour just on the history and culture of the Auction community, and it's a great part of our history as a community, and of course many Auction students in our student body, and it's very important to have that understanding, that cultural awareness of this group of students that are in our school and in our community. So that was time very well spent. I greatly appreciated the two of them presenting that. And then the last thing I attended today was at Maricopa Wells Middle School. It was Helping Kids Succeed Arizona Style, and that's a great program. I know you're familiar with that and aware of that, but I attended the lunch, because I always show up when there's a free lunch. And they had a very good lunch, catered lunch, but it was cool because it was the staff was there, and then a whole lot of community people. And Patty and Tori were there. I know, appreciate them being there. Good turnout. Faith community was there, representatives from the city, and citizen groups were there. A lot of support for the work that's being done there. And it's just the whole idea that our students need assets. It's kind of the technical term for them, but they need that web of support. They need people in their life. They need support, and not just from the school. They need it from family. They need it from the community. They need it from coaches. They need it from their church, from a variety of places to succeed. And kids that have more support have a better chance of graduating from high school and a better chance of being successful in life. So that's the theme of it. There's a book that goes along with that and a curriculum, and it's a good project. I'm very glad that Maricopa Wells is working on that. So that was a well-spent lunch period. I have been giving my annual report, really to anybody that will listen. I've given it about 19 times thus far, and I have several more lined up in the next couple of weeks. And I actually will be presenting it officially to the board at a future meeting. But it's fun to do that, just to talk about the good things that are going on in the school district and the challenges that we face. And it's a good way for me to get out and meet people and meet staff and community members. So I've enjoyed doing that. Another thing that I enjoy doing is walkthroughs with principals, walking through classrooms. And had the opportunity to walk through about 18 or 19 classes since our last board meeting at those three schools, with Rick Abel at Maricopa Wells Middle School, at Santa Cruz with Dr. John Flores, and at Desert Wind Middle School with Joe Veras. And I always like to go with the principal if I can. Dr. Conley joined us for one of those schools. I think it was Desert Wind. We try to go as a group, and we just try to go into classrooms and observe, stay there long enough so we can understand what the objective is for the day and how the teacher is moving that lesson forward. And my practice is I always try and really focus on the positive things that are going on in that classroom and give that teacher some positive feedback. And then principals, of course, are a little more directive, not necessarily from that one visit, but that's their more day-to-day job. And so principals spend a lot of time walking through classrooms as well. But it's important for me to get out there and do that, and I really enjoy doing that and plan to be doing a whole lot more of that as the year goes on. And good part of a very fun part of my job to be able to do that. And I think that concludes my report, so thank you.
Thank you. Governing board member activity reports.
I have a couple things. Did you want to go?
Me? You can just start, Tori, and then work down if you like.
I did go to the football game. My boys were extremely excited to be able to go out on the field. They were so impressed by those big football players. So that it was nice to see the next level of excitement and kind of nurturing that spirit growing up. So that's kind of fun. And then I did go to Maricopa Wells today for the lunch and for the presentation. I'm impressed at what they're doing over there with Rick and the teachers. They're just a nice community. And then tomorrow, I will be going to Santa Cruz Elementary because they had their rock wall installed. So I'm excited to be able to go through a lesson with those teachers. So that's exciting. For me, that's my passion, so I'm excited to see that. So,
Thank you.
Ditto. Ditto. Except I'm going to let her do my rock climbing for me. She's better at it tomorrow.
Ms. Carlisle Burnett?
I do have an announcement. I attended the fall parent night that occurred on Wednesday. It was last Wednesday at the Auction Indian Community. We were very blessed to have Principal June Salaya and the new athletic director, Corey Neneber. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And Miss Michelle Schaefer, she's the advisor there for the high school, and they went over a lot of different things with our kids and our parents, and it was a really good turnout. Very impressed with how well Miss Salaya reached out to our community. She's just wonderful with all of our people, and lots of good questions and answers and things like that. So that was a very enjoyable night. I also want to announce that we are celebrating our Native American Recognition Day. So to all of you in this room and all of our millions of viewers out there watching, you're all welcome to come to the Auction Indian community. We're going to have a lot of booths, lots of food, fry bread, jewelry sales, all kinds of things like that. And Auction Education Committee is going to have a booth there. So please stop by and just take a look and buy some food and just enjoy the day for a little while. You're more than welcome, and it'll be great to see you all.
what time was it?
It starts they have a walk in the morning that starts at 7, and that begins at the Social Services Center. That's at the end of Farrell Road on the west side, and it will end at Milton Antone Park. It's in the heart of the community, right there by the new vehicle market. And, we'll just be there, and everybody's going to be gathered, and like I said, food and people
So like 9
and
o'clock on?
music and till about 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Mr. Irving?
Oh, Saturday, the 29th. You're supposed to know this stuff, Yes, Saturday, the 29th. It's this Saturday. Yes.
Yeah, I went to Santa Cruz on Monday to do the rock wall. I was smart enough not to climb the rock wall, but I was very impressed. Not only did Tracy Carey do the rock wall, the physical education part, but she also had the kids climb the wall and take down words and make words. So it was really interesting how she worked language arts and word skills into what she was doing.
Cross-curricular.
And I like Tori since I'm a disciple of Tori's with the whole, but it was fun to see the kids support and help out with the words. And, as Tori knows, a real team approach. I wasn't smart enough to go to Maricopa Wells for lunch, so I went the first thing in the morning. But I do have a copy of the book they gave us, so it's really, really interesting. And, you just can't say enough. We talked a lot in my session about kids who don't have networks, and they talked a little bit about gangs, and coming from a Chicago area where the kids' network were gangs. It just really hit home how each one of us and everything we do needs to reach out to the kids. And I know when they were talking, a lot of when they were talking about one of the first things with parents, it hit me, a lot of our kids don't have parents. And that's where we all step in. So they did a great job, and again, I applaud that whole staff over there for what they're doing. And on Friday, if you're not busy, come to Popcorn Friday at Santa Rosa. There'll be no snakes, and you can help. It's just fun to go out and watch these little kids bring their little bag of money to buy this popcorn. So they always need help, so it's just a fun way to see and get to see some of the wonderful kids we have in our district.
Thank you.
You? What? No, I'm just kidding. Just giving you a
Mr. Lovell, you have a report on behalf of the students? Please.
All right, well,
Is it on? Is there a button
Hello?
right there on the?
all right, well, good evening, President Bartle and the board. This might be kind of a long thing to talk about for me, but upcoming is our homecoming week. Just want to go on about that. First off, I want to thank all the board members and Dr. Chestnut for showing up to our football game last Friday. It was good seeing you all there and supporting us. Spirit Week is October 15th through the 19th. And I want to thank all the teachers and people who have helped us out, Miss Russ, Miss Barrett, for example. On Monday is our Super Bowl party, so we're going to be wearing jerseys. Tuesday is Toga Tuesday, so we're going to have fun with that. Wednesday is costume party. Thursday is a pajama party. And Friday is our class party. On Friday, we're going to be doing our pep assembly, getting all of our school spirit put together. And then our carnival, we want to invite all the schools in the district to come out and celebrate on our campus. We're going to have zip lines, bounce houses, turkey legs, tons of food. Let's see. The students are organizing a tailgate party right before the game, so to promote spirit in that, and whoever else wants to show up. So about an hour before the game, come out and support us. And then the 20th is a dance. We're just gonna have a good time with that. And then yeah, that's all I've got for the students. Thank you.
Exciting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tyler.
I think I can speak on behalf of several of us, so you had us at turkey legs.
That's right.
Exactly, especially at this
Free
time of
food's
night.
always good.
Item 6, information items and work study. Dr. Chestnut? Is there any? There's nothing on.
There's nothing on there, right? Nothing there.
Nothing to report. Consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Technical question. There's 7D. Since we've already approved the agenda, I can't go in and ask questions about that, right? Okay.
We can pull it off the agenda, off the consent, and talk about it if you like.
Can I just pull 7D off? Just to ask some parents came up today, some questions came up from a couple of parents. Can
Okay,
I-
so maybe
Okay,
consider
so-
making a motion to approve the consent agenda items A, B, C, and E.
Yes.
Is that
Okay.
what you'd like to?
Okay, so what I'd like to do is on consent agenda, approve items 7A, B, C, and E, removing D for discussion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Item
you.
7D, approve intergovernmental agreement regarding Arizona Race to the Top.
So, question came up, Dr. Chestnut, on the agreement. Can you explain, this is agreement with who, and what is the cost involved to our district?
Race to the Top is a federal program, and it is additional federal money that the state of Arizona has qualified for. It will allow us to work on Common Core standards and getting ready for the new Ames test that will accompany that beginning in 2014-15. Because the state won that grant from the federal government, then some of those funds rolled out to local school districts to help with this implementation process. So the decision was made last year, as I understand it, to join the consortium at the county superintendent's office so that we could pool our resources and get a little more bang for our buck that way. And so this agenda item would allow us to participate in that intergovernmental agreement so that we can prepare our staff and our students to get ready for those new curriculum standards. So there is an allocation of funding that we received and that would go back to the county superintendent's office to pay for that expense, but it is grant funds from the federal government. So in essence, it's not a cost to us because it's a grant, and so
Right.
it's a federal grant.
No, good, that's what I need to know. Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8A, discussion and possible approval of personnel schedule, which includes resignations, reclassifications, terminations, non-renewals, new position requests, employment ratifications, stipends, leave of absence, FMLA requests, and other administrative actions. Mr. Beckett.
President Bartle, members of the governing board, you have the personnel schedule in front of you. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any. It's hard to believe, but.
Okay.
Is there a motion to approve item 8A?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Beckett.
Thank you.
Item B, discussion and possible approval of the second reading of proposed policy HA, meet and confer goals and priority objectives. Dr. Chestnut.
We have looked at this policy a couple different times, and as you recall, we started last spring. The Arizona School Board Association made some suggestions this summer that we make some minor changes after that first reading back in April or May, whenever that was. So we brought it back for a first reading at our last meeting, and we think it's ready for approval tonight. Recommend approval tonight.
So motion to approve item 8B, the second reading of policy HA.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8C, discussion and possible approval of the second reading of policy GCO, evaluation of professional staff members as recommended by a Arizona School Board Association. Dr. Chestnut.
As you know, we've been working on this project as well for the last couple of years, and we have a tougher accountability system or evaluation system in place for teachers and principals across the state of Arizona. Every district in the state will be required to have this system in place next year. Maricopa Unified got a head start on this, began implementing the process last year. We are into our second year with this new teacher-principal evaluation system. And so to be in compliance with the requirements for that new evaluation system, we've had to update the policy. And so far, the experiment worked well last year, and we're getting more used to it, and I think we'll see some good benefits from this system as we're moving forward. So I would recommend approval of this policy.
Move approval of the policy in the second reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Chestnut. Is there a meeting to adjourn?
No, stay in
Darn
touch.
it.
I second.
We broke
There's a
our
motion and a
record.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 6:27. Thank you all very
A
much.
new world's Maricopa record.
Thank God for Dr. Chestnut. He's like awesome.